My child, before you close your eyes tonight, I want you to stay with me for a little while. Slow down your thoughts for a moment, breathe deeply, and listen carefully to my voice. Because what I am about to tell you, your heart has been desperate to hear for a very long time. I know you are tired. Not only physically tired, but tired deep within your soul. Tired of carrying burdens nobody sees. Tired of pretending that everything is fine. Tired of smiling in front of people while your heart quietly breaks inside. Many around you have no idea how much you have been enduring. They do not see the nights you stay awake thinking about the future. They do not hear the silent prayers you whisper through tears. They do not feel the heaviness you carry every single day. But I do. I have seen every battle you fought in silence. I was there during the nights when anxiety wrapped itself around your mind. I was there when fear made your heart tremble. I was there when you felt abandoned, forgotten, and emotionally exhausted. Even during the moments when you thought nobody cared about you, I never left your side, not once. My beloved child, you have spent so much time trying to be strong for everyone else that you forgot how deeply your own heart needed comfort. You kept telling yourself to hold on a little longer, to survive one more day, to keep moving forward even when your spirit felt weak. And now, your soul is tired. I know there are moments when you sit in silence and wonder if things will ever become lighter. You ask yourself, how much longer must I carry all of this? But listen to me carefully tonight. You are not carrying your pain alone anymore, because I am here with you, right now, in this very moment. And even if your eyes cannot see me, your spirit can feel my presence surrounding you. I am closer than your fears, closer than your tears, closer than the worries keeping you awake at night. Do not allow hopeless thoughts to convince you that your story will end in sadness. Because I have not abandoned the work I began in your life. There is still purpose ahead of you. There is still healing ahead of you. There is still peace your heart has not experienced yet. I know the world has hurt you. I know people have disappointed you. Some walked away when you needed them most. Some broke your trust. Some made you feel small, unwanted, or invisible. And because of that, you slowly began building walls around your heart. You stopped speaking about your pain. You stopped asking for help. You learned how to suffer quietly. But my child, you were never created to live crushed beneath fear and emotional exhaustion. You were never meant to carry this darkness by yourself. That is why tonight, I want you to rest for a moment in my words. Let my voice calm the storm inside your mind. Let my love reach the places within you that nobody else understands. Because I understand you completely. I see the hidden sadness behind your smile. I see the pressure you carry. I see the emotional weight that nobody applauds you for surviving. And I tell you now, you do not have to pretend with me. You do not have to hide your tears from me. Bring me your anxiety, bring me your confusion. Bring me the questions you are afraid to say out loud, because I am not far from you. I am the God who stays, even when everybody else leaves. And there is something you still do not fully realize. Many times, the reason you survived was because my hand was holding you together when your strength was failing. There were nights you wanted to give up, moments when your thoughts became so heavy that you did not know how to keep going. Yet somehow, you are still here, still breathing, still fighting, still searching for hope. That was not an accident. I have been protecting you in ways you cannot yet understand. Even during the darkest moments of your life, I was standing beside you. And tonight, I need you to remember this. Your pain does not define your future. Your heartbreak is not the end of your story. Your anxiety will not have the final word over your life, because I am already working in places you cannot see. I am restoring strength inside your spirit. I am healing wounds hidden deep within your heart. I am preparing peace for the restless areas of your mind. So do not give up now. Not when healing is closer than you think. Stay with me a little longer, because what I will tell you next may completely change the way you see this season of your life. And if deep inside your heart you still believe that I am with you tonight, whisper softly, Amen, my child. I know there are wounds inside you that nobody truly knows about, not because people never asked, but because after being hurt so many times, you stopped knowing how to explain the pain. So you carried it quietly. You learned how to say, "I'm fine," while your thoughts were collapsing inside your mind. You learned how to smile in conversations, while your heart felt distant and exhausted. And little by little, you became used to surviving instead of truly living. But I never wanted your life to become only survival. I created your heart for peace, for joy, for love, for hope, not for endless fear, not for constant heaviness. And tonight, I want you to understand something very important. The pain you feel is not proof that I abandoned you. Sometimes, when life becomes difficult, you begin believing that silence means absence. But, my child, even when heaven felt quiet, I was still walking beside you. I saw the nights when sleep would not come, the moments when your mind replayed every fear again and again. You kept wondering, what if things never get better? What if I fail? What if I lose everything? And the more you worried, the heavier your soul became. I know how tired you are from overthinking. I know how exhausting it is to fight battles inside your own mind every single day. People often see physical pain, but emotional exhaustion is a different kind of suffering. It drains your strength silently. It steals your motivation, your peace, your confidence. Sometimes it even steals your desire to keep dreaming. And there were moments when you truly believed nobody understood what was happening inside you. But I understood. I understood every silent cry, even the ones that never became words. I saw you sitting alone, trying to stay strong while fear whispered terrible things into your heart. Fear told you, you are alone. You are forgotten. Nothing will ever change. But fear has lied to you many times before. Because if you were truly abandoned, you would not still be standing today. Listen carefully to me now. The fact that you survived every painful season proves that my hand has been upon your life. There were moments when you thought you had reached your limit, yet somehow, strength appeared again. That strength came from me. There were moments when your heart shattered because of disappointment. People promised to stay, then walked away. People said they cared, then became strangers. And because of those wounds, you started protecting your heart from everyone. You became cautious, quiet, emotionally distant. Not because you stopped loving, but because you became afraid of being hurt again. I know this pain very well. I know what it feels like to be rejected, to be misunderstood, to give love and receive wounds in return. That is why you never have to hide your brokenness from me. Bring your weary heart to me exactly as it is. Not perfect, not fearless, not pretending, just honest. Because I can heal the parts of you that nobody else can reach. I can calm the storm inside your thoughts. I can restore the peace anxiety tried to steal from you. And I know there are moments when sadness suddenly appears without warning. Moments when you feel emotionally drained and cannot explain why. You try to move forward, but deep inside, something still hurts. My child, those hidden wounds did not go unnoticed. I was with you in every moment. I was there when disappointment made you cry in silence. I was there when you looked around and felt emotionally alone, even in crowded rooms. I was there when you questioned your worth after being treated as though you did not matter. And I tell you now, you matter deeply to me, more than you realize. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not too broken to be loved. The world may have spoken harshly to your heart, but my voice still speaks peace over your life. So stop believing that your future must look like your past. Stop believing that pain will follow you forever, because healing has already begun in places you cannot yet see. Even now, I am restoring your strength little by little. I am teaching your heart how to breathe again after so much emotional pressure. I am removing the heaviness you carried for too long. And there is something else I need you to understand tonight. The enemy has tried very hard to convince you that your life has no purpose, that your struggles made you weak, that your failures defined you, that your wounds ruined your future. But none of that is true. Your story is not over. In fact, this painful season is preparing something inside you that will one day become strength. One day, you will look back and realize that the battles meant to destroy you actually brought you closer to me. So do not lose hope now, not when your healing is already beginning. And stay with me a little longer, because what I am about to reveal to you next may completely change the way you see the battle surrounding your life. My child, there is a battle happening around you that you cannot fully see with your natural eyes. And for a long time, you thought the greatest struggle in your life was against people, against circumstances, against financial pressure, against the uncertainty of the future. But the deepest battle has been happening inside your mind, because the enemy knows something very important about you. He knows that if he can fill your thoughts with fear, he can slowly drain the strength from your spirit. That is why so many attacks came against your peace. Not always through dramatic events, but through quiet exhaustion, through discouragement, through confusion, through loneliness, through the constant feeling that nothing will ever change. Little by little, negative thoughts tried to become your daily atmosphere. And there were moments when those thoughts became so heavy that even simple things felt difficult. Getting out of bed became difficult. Smiling became difficult. Hoping became difficult. You kept fighting battles nobody else could see. And sometimes, you became tired of fighting. I know this. I saw the moments when your mind became filled with questions. Why is this happening to me? Why does everything feel so heavy? Why do I feel forgotten? But listen carefully to me now. You are not being abandoned. You are being attacked because your life still carries purpose. Darkness does not fight empty things. The enemy attacks what still has destiny. That is why confusion tried to enter your thoughts. That is why fear tried to silence your faith. That is why discouragement kept whispering, "Give up. Stop trying. Nothing good is waiting for you." But those whispers do not carry truth. Because my promises over your life are greater than every fearful voice surrounding you. And even when you felt weak, your spirit kept reaching for me. That is why you are listening to these words right now. Because deep inside your soul, there is still faith alive within you. Maybe small, maybe trembling, maybe exhausted, but still alive. And I tell you now, a small flame protected by my hand cannot be extinguished. You have cried many tears, yet your heart still longs for peace. You have walked through disappointment, yet part of you still hopes for better days. You have faced battles that almost broke you, yet you are still standing here tonight. That is not weakness. That is proof that my strength has been sustaining you. My child, do not underestimate the war taking place inside your thoughts. Some of the greatest battles are silent. No one sees them, but they consume energy every single day. Battles against anxiety, against hopelessness, against self-doubt, against memories that still hurt, against fear of the future. And sometimes, the enemy uses your past wounds to convince you that you will never change. He reminds you of failures, mistakes, embarrassing moments, painful memories. Again and again, he tries to make you relive what I already forgave. But hear me clearly. Your past no longer has authority over your future. I did not create you to remain chained to old pain forever. I created you for freedom. That is why tonight, I need you to stop agreeing with the voices destroying your peace. Stop speaking defeat over your own life. Stop believing that you are permanently broken. Stop accepting fear as though it belongs inside your heart. Because fear was never meant to rule you. I did not call you to live imprisoned by anxiety every day. I called you to walk in peace with me. And yes, I know there are still moments when fear suddenly enters your thoughts. Moments when your chest feels heavy. Moments when your mind races late at night. Moments when you imagine terrible outcomes before anything even happens. But even there, I remain beside you. You do not fight these battles alone anymore. When your thoughts become stormy, call my name. When discouragement tries to crush your spirit, listen to my voice instead of fear. When your heart becomes tired, rest in my promises. Because I am still protecting you in ways you cannot yet understand. Even now, while you are listening to me, I am working behind situations that seem impossible. Doors you thought were closed forever, I can still open. Chains you thought would never break, I can still remove. Peace you thought you would never feel again, I can restore. Nothing about your situation is too difficult for me. Nothing. And there is something important I need you to remember tonight. The battle surrounding your life will not last forever. This season of confusion is temporary. This heaviness is temporary. This emotional exhaustion is temporary. You will not remain trapped in darkness forever. I am already preparing restoration for you, even before you fully see it, even before you fully understand it. I have been making a way quietly behind the scenes of your life, and soon you will begin to notice changes happening around you that you once prayed desperately for. So do not stop now. Do not surrender to hopelessness now. You are much closer to breakthrough than you realize. And tell me honestly, my child, after everything you have survived already, do you truly believe I brought you this far just to abandon you now? No, I have never left you, and I will not leave you in this battle either. So keep listening carefully, because what I will tell you next may completely change the way you see the delay, the waiting, and the pain you have been carrying for so long. My child, I know there were moments when you became frustrated with the waiting, moments when you prayed, and nothing seemed to change. You asked for answers, yet heaven felt silent. You asked for direction, yet the road ahead still looked uncertain, and little by little, discouragement tried to convince you that your prayers were being ignored. But listen carefully to me now. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean I am not working. There are seasons when I work quietly beneath the surface of your life, seasons where roots are growing before fruit appears. And I know the waiting has been painful for you, especially when you compare your life to others. You see people moving ahead, receiving opportunities, finding happiness, opening new doors. Meanwhile, you wonder why your own season has felt so slow. But my child, delayed does not mean denied. And the waiting was never meant to destroy you. It was preparing you. There are blessings you prayed for that would have crushed you if they arrived too early. There are doors you begged me to open that would have led you into greater pain. There are people you cried over losing, who were never meant to remain in your life forever. I protected you even when you misunderstood my silence. Because sometimes, my greatest acts of love are the things I prevent from happening. You thought I was withholding goodness from you, when in reality, I was shielding you from things your heart could not yet see. And now, even though the process has been difficult, you are stronger than before, wiser than before, closer to me than before. The pain changed you, the waiting deepened you, the loneliness taught you how to seek my presence instead of depending completely on people. And yes, there were nights when you almost lost hope, nights when you wondered if your life would ever feel light again. But I carried you through every single moment. That is why you must not allow temporary frustration to make you abandon your faith now. Not when restoration is already beginning, because something is shifting around you. Even if it still feels invisible, I am opening paths you cannot yet see. I am aligning circumstances quietly. I am moving hearts, removing obstacles, breaking chains that stood in your way for years. And soon, you will understand why certain doors had to remain closed. You will understand why certain relationships ended. You will understand why some painful seasons lasted longer than you wanted, because what I am preparing for you requires transformation first. My child, you asked me for peace, but peace cannot grow where fear still controls your thoughts. You asked me for purpose, but purpose requires spiritual strength. You asked me for a new season, but before new things could begin, old wounds needed healing. That is why I have been restoring your heart little by little. Not to punish you, to prepare you. And hear me carefully tonight. Your life is not falling apart. It is being rebuilt. Even now, while you are worrying about tomorrow, I am already standing in your future, making a way for you. You cannot see the full picture yet, but I can. I know every detail of your life, every fear hidden in your heart, every prayer you whispered through tears, every burden you carried quietly. And I tell you now, you are much closer to breakthrough than you realize. Do not let impatience steal your peace now. Do not let discouragement convince you to stop believing. The storm will not last forever. Morning is still coming. And one day, you will look back at this painful season and realize something surprising. The very season that almost broke you was the season I used to transform you. So stop calling yourself forgotten. Stop believing your best days are behind you. Your future is still alive. Your purpose is still alive. And the peace you have been praying for is already making its way toward you. Stay close to me now. Do not run back toward fear. Do not return to hopeless thoughts. Because what I am about to heal inside your heart next goes much deeper than you realize. There are wounds inside you that began many years ago, and tonight I want to speak directly to that hurting part of your soul. My child, there are wounds inside your heart that did not begin yesterday. Some of them were born many years ago, long before you learned how to hide your emotions, long before you learned how to smile while suffering, long before you became so careful about trusting people. And even now, those old wounds still whisper to your heart sometimes. They whisper fear, rejection, unworthiness. They remind you of moments when you felt unwanted, misunderstood, left behind. I know there is a part of you that still remembers what it felt like to be hurt when all you wanted was love. You remember the disappointment, the cold words, the silence, the abandonment. You remember trying your best and still feeling unseen. And slowly, without realizing it, you began carrying the belief that maybe your heart was too damaged, too exhausted, too broken to fully heal. But listen to me carefully tonight. You are not too broken for my love. Not now, not ever. I know the child inside you that still longs to feel safe, the part of you that became afraid of rejection, the part of you that stopped expressing emotions because vulnerability once brought pain, the part of you that learned to stay emotionally guarded because every disappointment left another scar. I know all of it, and I have never looked at your wounds with judgment, only compassion. My child, you became strong because life forced you to survive. But survival mode has exhausted your soul. You became so used to expecting disappointment that peace started feeling unfamiliar to you. Sometimes, even when good things begin happening, fear still whispers. It will not last. You will be hurt again. You should protect yourself. And because of those fears, you often carry tension inside your heart without even noticing it. You struggle to fully rest, fully trust, fully breathe. But I did not create your heart to live imprisoned by old pain forever. I want to heal the places inside you that still ache quietly. Not only the visible wounds, but the hidden ones too. The wounds nobody applauded you for surviving. The wounds you never explained to anyone. The wounds that made you question your worth. And I know there were times when people made you feel difficult to love. Times when your kindness was ignored. Your loyalty was taken for granted. Your heart was mishandled. Those moments left marks inside you. Now sometimes, even when someone cares about you, part of you still fears abandonment. Part of you still prepares for disappointment before it even happens. Because pain trained your heart to expect loss. But my beloved child, you do not have to keep living like this forever. You do not have to carry every old wound into your future. That is why tonight, I want you to release those hidden burdens into my hands. The sadness you never fully processed. The rejection you still remember. The memories that still make your chest feel heavy. Give them to me. You were never meant to heal alone. And hear me clearly. Your sensitivity is not weakness. Your emotions are not a burden to me. The fact that you still love after everything you survived is proof of the beauty still alive inside your heart. Do not hate yourself for feeling deeply. Do not condemn yourself for becoming tired. Even now, after all the disappointment, your heart still longs for love, peace, and connection. That longing did not come from weakness. It came from the way I created you, my child. I know there were moments when loneliness became so heavy that you questioned your own value. Moments when you compared yourself to others and wondered why your life felt more difficult. Moments when you felt emotionally forgotten while everyone else seemed happy. But never confuse temporary loneliness with permanent abandonment, because I have been closer to you than you realize. Even during the moments when you stopped believing in yourself, I still believed in you. Even during the moments when you felt emotionally shattered, I still saw beauty, purpose, and strength inside you. And tonight, I need you to stop speaking harshly to your own heart. Stop calling yourself a failure. Stop believing that your past ruined your future. Stop assuming that because you were hurt before, you will always suffer. That is not the destiny I prepared for you. Healing is possible. Peace is possible. Joy is possible again. Yes, even for you. I know it has been difficult for you to imagine happiness without fear attached to it. But I am slowly teaching your heart how to feel safe again, how to trust again, how to breathe again without carrying constant emotional pressure. And though the process feels slow sometimes, do not lose patience with yourself. Deep wounds require gentle healing. So tonight, rest in this truth. You are deeply loved exactly where you are. Not after you become perfect. Not after you stop struggling. Not after you become stronger. Right now, in your exhaustion, in your healing, in your unfinished journey. I love you there, and there is something beautiful beginning to happen inside your life. Even though you cannot fully see it yet, your future is quietly being rebuilt. The pain did not destroy your destiny. It only prepared your heart for a new beginning. So, stay with me a little longer, because what I am about to show you next will help you understand why your story is far from over. My child, your story is not ending in this painful chapter. I know there were moments when it felt that way. Moments when the exhaustion became so heavy that you could no longer imagine a better future for yourself. You kept looking at your life and wondering, will things always feel this difficult? Will I ever feel truly happy again? Will this weight ever leave my heart? And because the pain lasted longer than you expected, part of you slowly stopped anticipating good things. You learned how to expect disappointment before hope. But listen to me carefully tonight. Your future is not over. Not even close. The darkness surrounding this season has blinded you from seeing how much possibility still exists ahead of you. You think you are stuck, but I see movement already beginning. You think your life has been delayed, but I see preparation taking place. You think too much has been damaged, but I am still able to restore what feels impossible to repair. My child, I am not limited by what hurt you. I am not limited by lost time, broken relationships, past mistakes, emotional exhaustion, financial pressure, or fearful thoughts. I can still create beauty from places that look ruined. I can still bring light into situations that seem hopeless. That is what I do. And one day, you will realize that this painful season did not come to destroy your destiny. It came to transform you into someone stronger, wiser, deeper, and closer to me than before. Right now, you only see the struggle, but later, you will also see the growth. You will see how the battles taught you discernment, how the loneliness taught you how to hear my voice more clearly, how the waiting taught you patience, how the heartbreak softened your heart instead of making it cold forever. And yes, there are still beautiful days ahead of you. Days where peace will return to your home. Days where your heart will laugh again without carrying hidden fear behind the smile. Days where you will wake up without immediately feeling heaviness inside your chest. Days where the anxiety that once controlled your thoughts will no longer dominate your mind. Do not stop believing in those days, because they are coming. Even now, while you feel uncertain, I am already arranging moments in your future that will remind you why you survived this season. There are people you have not met yet who will bring encouragement into your life. There are prayers already moving toward answers. There are doors already beginning to open quietly. There are blessings forming in places you cannot yet see. And my child, you must stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Do not curse tomorrow because today feels difficult. Do not decide your entire destiny based on one painful season. Storms pass, nights end, wounds heal, and your life still carries purpose beyond this present moment. I know there were times when you wanted to give up completely, times when you felt emotionally numb, times when the future frightened you more than it inspired you. But even then, I kept protecting the small flame of hope inside your spirit, because I knew something you could not yet see. You still have important things ahead of you. You still have love ahead of you. You still have growth ahead of you. You still have healing ahead of you. And you still have moments ahead of you that will make your heart grateful you did not quit. So stop believing the lie that your best years are already gone. Some of the most beautiful parts of your story have not happened yet. I know it is difficult for you to imagine that right now. Pain narrows your vision. Fear convinces you that nothing will change. but I can already see the person you are becoming through all of this. Stronger, calmer, more discerning, more compassionate, more spiritually alive. One day, you will no longer react to life from wounded fear. One day, you will no longer carry constant emotional heaviness everywhere you go. One day, your mind will become quieter. One day, peace will feel natural again. And when that day comes, you will realize that I was healing you slowly even during the seasons where you thought nothing was happening. So, do not rush the process. Do not hate yourself for still healing. And do not compare your journey to other people. Everyone heals differently. Everyone grows differently. I have a path designed specifically for you. And even now, while you are still listening to my voice tonight, I am restoring strength inside the hidden places of your soul. You are not becoming weaker through this process. You are becoming renewed. That is why you must keep moving forward. Slowly if necessary, quietly if necessary. But keep moving, because your story still carries meaning. And hear me carefully now. The enemy wanted your pain to become your identity, but I will not allow that to happen. You are not merely the broken one, not merely the anxious one, not merely the abandoned one. You are still my beloved child, chosen, protected, seen, and deeply loved. So lift your eyes again, hope again, dream again, because your future is still alive in my hands. And there is one final thing your heart still needs tonight. You have carried exhaustion for too long. Now it is time for you to finally rest. My child, you have carried so much for so long. So many worries, so many fears, so many silent battles that nobody fully understood. And because you became used to carrying everything alone, you forgot what true rest feels like. Even when your body tries to sleep, your mind continues running. Thought after thought, fear after fear, memory after memory. Your heart became so accustomed to surviving that peace started feeling unfamiliar. But tonight, I do not want you to keep carrying this heaviness by yourself anymore. I want you to rest, not temporary distraction, not pretending to be okay, not emotional numbness. Real rest, the kind of rest that reaches deep into the soul. Because, my child, you were never created to live constantly overwhelmed by fear. You were never meant to spend every day emotionally exhausted. I see how tired your spirit has become. I see the tension you carry in your chest. I see how difficult it has been for you to fully relax because part of you is always expecting another disappointment. But listen carefully to me now. You do not have to remain trapped in survival mode forever. You are safe with me, right here, right now. So slowly, let your anxious thoughts begin to quiet down. You do not need to solve your entire future tonight. You do not need to carry tomorrow's burdens before they arrive. You do not need to keep replaying painful memories in your mind. Release them into my hands. The pressure, the fear, the uncertainty, the sadness you hide from others. Give it to me, because I care about every part of your pain, even the pain you struggle to explain. My beloved child, you have spent too much time being strong for everyone else. Now let me be strong for you. Rest your weary thoughts in my presence. Let my peace slowly untangle the fear wrapped around your heart. Let my love quiet the inner voice constantly telling you to worry, because fear has spoken loudly enough. Tonight, my voice will be louder, and my voice says, you are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not fighting alone. You are not beyond healing, and you are not failing simply because you became tired, sometimes. The strongest people are the ones silently carrying pain nobody notices. But even strong hearts need rest. Even faithful hearts become weary sometimes. That does not disappoint me. It simply means you are human. So stop punishing yourself for being emotionally exhausted. Stop feeling guilty for needing comfort. Stop believing you must carry every burden perfectly in order to deserve peace. You do not earn my love through endless struggle. I loved you long before you learned how to survive. And I still love you now, even in your weariness, especially in your weariness. My child, there are things keeping you awake at night that you were never meant to control. Some outcomes are not in your hands. Some answers will come later. Some healing requires time. But while you wait, you can still rest in me. You can still breathe deeply. You can still trust that I am working behind the scenes of your life. Even now. Especially now. And I know there are moments when your thoughts become overwhelming. Moments when anxiety suddenly rises inside you for no clear reason. Moments when your heart feels heavy and you do not even know how to explain it. When those moments come, do not isolate yourself inside fear. Call my name. Sit quietly with me. Let my presence calm the storm within you little by little. Healing does not always happen in one dramatic moment. Sometimes it happens gently, like morning light slowly entering a dark room, like chains quietly loosening one link at a time, like a wounded heart gradually learning that it is safe again. That is what I am doing inside you now. Even if you cannot fully feel it yet, I am calming your spirit, restoring your strength, teaching your heart how to trust peace again. So tonight, before you close your eyes, I want you to release the burdens you carried all day. Release the conversations replaying in your mind. Release the fear of the future. Release the pressure to have everything figured out immediately. Release the pain you have been silently holding inside your chest. You do not need to carry it all tonight. I am here, and I am not leaving. The world may feel uncertain sometimes, but my presence remains constant. People may disappoint you, but my love does not change. Situations may shift unexpectedly, but my hand is still upon your life. So breathe again, my child. Slowly, peacefully. Allow your soul to rest in the truth that you are deeply loved, fully seen, and safely held by me. And remember this before you sleep tonight. You survived every difficult day before this one. Not because you carried yourself alone, but because I carried you when your strength was almost gone. And I will continue carrying you through whatever comes next. So stop fearing tomorrow. You are not walking into the future alone. I am already there waiting for you. Now rest, my child, because there is one final thing I need your heart to hear before this night ends. My child, before this night ends, there is one final truth I need you to hold close to your heart. You are not alone, not in your fears, not in your healing, not in the uncertainty of your future, and not even in the quiet battles nobody else knows about. I know there were many times when loneliness convinced you otherwise. Times when you sat in silence wishing someone truly understood what your heart was carrying. Times when the weight became so heavy that you smiled outside, while quietly breaking inside. But even during those moments, I remained beside you, watching over you, protecting you, holding you together in ways you could not see. My beloved child, you have survived too many painful nights to believe your story ends in darkness now. You have cried too many tears for healing not to come. You have fought too many battles for peace not to find you eventually. And even though this season exhausted you, it did not destroy you. Because my hand never left your life, not once. There were moments when you thought you were barely holding on, but it was actually my strength carrying you forward. That is why you are still here tonight. Still breathing, still hoping, still searching for peace. And I want you to understand something beautiful now. The fact that your heart still longs for love, peace, and healing after everything you endured means darkness did not win. Your softness survived. Your faith survived. Your soul survived. And I am proud of you for continuing to move forward even while carrying invisible pain. I know it was not easy. I know there were moments when you wanted to stop trying. Moments when disappointment drained your strength. Moments when fear convinced you that nothing would ever change. But look at you now. You are still here. And that matters more than you realize. So tonight, I do not want you to fall asleep carrying hopelessness anymore. I do not want anxiety to have the final voice over your thoughts tonight. I do not want fear sitting beside you while you try to rest. Let my peace surround you instead. Let my love quiet the heaviness inside your chest. Let my presence remind your soul that you are safe. Because no matter how uncertain life feels sometimes, your future is still in my hands. And I have not forgotten the prayers you cried through tears. I have not ignored the silent battles you fought alone. I have not overlooked the exhaustion hidden behind your smile. I saw all of it, every tear, every fear, every lonely night. And I stayed. That is what I need you to remember most tonight. I stayed. When people walked away, I stayed. When fear overwhelmed your thoughts, I stayed. When you doubted yourself, I stayed. When you felt emotionally shattered, I stayed. And I will continue staying beside you through every season still ahead. So release your worries into my hands now. You do not need to carry tomorrow before it arrives. You do not need every answer tonight. You only need to rest, trusting that I am already working in places you cannot yet see. My child, better days are coming. Peace is coming. Healing is coming. Clarity is coming. And one day, you will look back at this season and realize that even in the darkest nights, you were never abandoned. I was guiding you the entire time. So before you sleep tonight, place your hand over your heart and remember this truth. You are deeply loved, fully seen, completely known, and eternally cared for by me. And if these words reached your heart tonight, I want you to write softly in the comments, Lord, I trust you, not because your life is perfect, not because every prayer has already been answered, but because deep inside your soul, you still believe I am walking beside you. And if someone you love is silently struggling tonight, share this message with them, because there are many weary hearts in this world that need hope too. Now close your eyes peacefully, my child. Release the fear, release the heaviness, release the exhaustion, and rest knowing this. I am with you, tonight, tomorrow, and always. I love you, more deeply than you will ever fully understand. Amen.